I did stream before today, but for a strange reason, I did not hear anything. So, I stopped the stream. If you want to see the part of the drawing that I've worked on, what is in front of you. Um, OBS. Yeah. The Q&A video today of me um, about you can ask me questions about veganism and animal rights and this kind of stuff. Um, this video is a little bit different than my usual Thursday videos because I did have this week a little bit of stomach issues for unknown reasons. Sometimes I'd suggest even if you are eating well, you can get stomach problems. I think maybe I did not drink enough water, or maybe other things like maybe eating too much processed vegan food like rice noodles or something like that. Can be, maybe not, I don't know. Actually. Oh, there is somebody that wants to talk.
How are you, buddy?
Hello.
Come on.
Today I'm purple and blue.
You're purple and blue? What did you do?
My hair.
Oh, let's see. Oh, it's too hard to turn it probably. Cool.
Yes, it can, but then I'm upside down.
I need to get one of those.
Yes, I can show it, but my stream is then upside down. Your stream not,
cool.
but my stream is upside down now.
I like that color on you. It looks good.
Yes, it's also the wig. This one is also pretty long.
Oh, it's long?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, I always like the short ones because I usually
this one is stupidly long.
Jeez. I was looking for one curly short. That's what I like. Because my hair will not stay like that. It's too heavy. Unfortunately.
Yes, there are also some clips in the wig so that it stays in place. At least in the wigs that I sometimes buy.
Ah, where do you get yours?
From this place is called something like anime cosplay Europe or something like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I
Like
think there are the same kind of shop have also stuff in America and the US. I think because it looks like an pretty acceptable business, and so I think that there also have sister companies in other places in the world.
oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
garbage day today. Can you hear the lorry outside?
the lorry.
The truck. Sorry, I've been using that word, lorries, because
Why?
some Nimrod lorries,
Well, where comes that word from? Is that Italian?
lorries.
I
No,
d-
no, it's proper English.
I did not never hear it.
Oh, I know. I knew that word sort of, and it's one of those words that I read in many books, but it came back in my mind when a retard went on our. Sorry, I shouldn't say retard. Actually, he was a bit misguided of a person. I don't want to offend, those who actually have problems. He was just some other teacher who was
Yes,
trying to.
I use different words for people who are mental retarded and as people who are some
I
people who are mentally ill and then there are because of that have a lower intelligence or are going backwards in intelligence. Those people are mentally ill. Retard is for me something different than they're used in America. For me, it is somebody who goes re- retard. Somebody goes backwards. Somebody who becomes less smart. Only most people in America and most other countries are just like with the word faggot in America. Most people think in America that it's a curse word, but it is a stick.
yeah, that's right, pretty much, pretty much.
Yes, just like in America, they also think the word bitches is a curse word when it is actually named for a female dog, and dogs are loyal and are actually the opposite of what are actually mean with it most of the time.
But they only use that because with the B word is because they are aggressive, right? To protect their puppies. So
Yeah,
that's why they started saying that.
yeah, but some people use that word when they call somebody weak.
Well, of course, but that's because people are ignorant, right? They also justify being
Yeah,
non-vegan. So I
but
mean,
then you can. But if somebody is B word, so you alright, use that now on the stream because I'm with you on the stream.
yeah,
uh,
no, I don't swear on my stream. There is no swearing. I actually
you try to not swear.
yeah, I try not to swear. Sometimes in coaching and stuff, you use swear words. Some people do anyway. It's a way to, it's a technique you use. But when you use them too much, they lose their effect. So I don't, uh, I don't like too much. And also, personally, I don't think, I can in this room. I just like to keep stuff happy and relaxing, and um, yeah, sure, we can call them out. I'm happy with that. But there's always a way to do it where it's funny and it's better. I don't like swearing, all that stuff. Like, I don't know where
Sometimes,
Andrew went. Andrew has disappeared. Andrew, where are you? Come on. We miss you. I couldn't come back yesterday, and
And
I
now
was feeling.
he is angry because you don't
Now,
get that.
now he's angry. No, he's not because I was chatting with him. But it was some guy who left this review on our paint course, and he wrote that with my colleague there were the sounds of lorries in the background, right? And so I started laughing, and I was like, "Oh my god, I haven't, when you don't read or hear a word for a while, and then it comes back. I'm like, yeah, I forgot about that word." And I saw, see, even in a stupid review, there was something good. Because that word is great. Like, to describe, it's just one word to describe so well. Everybody, everybody who speaks English, who's native English, most people know what that is. It's just like proper English, but we don't use it as much, so we don't think about it. English is a tough language to learn. Well, you can speak languages like crap, but speak a language well takes skill. It's easier when you do it when you're a kid, right? So it's not so easy when you learn when you're older. If you're older, right?
What I'm not.
Like Latin is okay. You can learn the rules. It's like German or French. You can learn the grammar, the rules, and then sort of follow it. French is hard for the accents and also the pronunciation. It's not.
Finnish is pretty easy actually because there have not words there are all the words in Finnish are Finnish words. There are not taking words out other languages.
Yeah, Finnish. I would like to try if
And
it's so easy.
it is
Just because I'm curious, I like
yes, for
languages.
some people it is hard, but it's for people with forms of dyslexia it's pretty easy because it don't have words from other languages, and it
Yeah,
is pretty the same way written as you say it. So if you know how to pronounce the letters in that language, you actually know how you speak the language.
that's awesome. I should look into. I like to do the Rosetta Stone because they're really well made. I'll look it up. Rosetta Stone, when they have their specials, you can get courses for better prices. And it's fast. I've tried different ways, but they weren't really as effective, I found. For my head, anyway, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I will look. I, I search for the chat now, for example, for if somebody have a question, because my stream is called Vegan Q&A, Drawing and Philosophy.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. You gotta answer, baby. See, I am. I wanna design a new. Um,
Yeah.
I wanna get my tarot done. So I've been working on that when I have time, like right now.
Mm-hmm.
I come on the feed and then I do that.
Yeah.
And then if any subs are on, I'll give them a reading. I can give you a reading if you want to. Not a love reading, I know. Don't worry.
Yes,
We
you was
we'll do that.
you was
Come on.
trying you was trying to give me a love reading that I don't want, so that I also get messages from like you that because you don't want to have a relation in this time, and therefore you are getting now constant with it because you did some reading for yourself.
That's right. That's right. I I did one already for me, so
That's because the people on the stream want that you do the one for yourself, was it not?
I sometimes do it on the feed. It's not like other people know what's going on anyway. I mean, they can see the card, they can sort of imagine, but everybody gets their own messages, right? So it's we all interpret the stuff differently, and then we all come with very similar messages most of the times. But it's all how we interpret them. And it's really interesting. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna bring my little. So I've been using these 3D models to, for like human forms and stuff like that, so that I don't have to go crazy with proportions and stuff. And then if I want to change them, I can just do that. I can just, draw on top basically. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been working on. Um,
Very sad, but that my first stream did not have any noise. I did not
what?
hear anything.
You couldn't hear anything? Oh, of your first streaming?
Yeah, that's what you did. What you said.
Yeah, I couldn't hear a thing.
So now I think now I can hear myself and again in the stream. And I see also that the text that I've made in the last one that are still in the live stream. In new live stream, I mean. I was looking in my in my
And
creative
it
studio.
was really funny because I thought, oh, maybe it's just streaming and it's not talking, it's just doing this very
Yes,
peaceful.
I was talking also a bit about the goby fish and goby and pistol shrimp in the beginning and their symbiotic
And that's
relation.
the thing. Like then I was like, hold on a minute. He's talking, in the background.
Yes.
Like you were showing stuff, so I was like, I'm sure he's talking. So then I went to see if my volume was down. Sometimes I do that. And
Yeah.
no, it was all the way up. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell him. Let me be the bearer of bad news. I hate that. I really hate that. But what can you do? It's better
Yeah.
that you know, right? I rather have people tell me. Ooh, that's pretty cool.
I'm drawing weird, very weird um, landscape with a tree, with a tropical tree roots,
Yeah.
banana like a banana tree like tops.
Yeah, you had your art lesson today, didn't you?
Yes.
Was that good?
Yes, my art teacher was that say that I have to draw something weird today.
She what?
She said that I have to draw something weird today.
Oh,
Something's wacko. So I'm now working on something that's weird.
okay. Let's see what comes out.
Yes, for the people on your side, this is how it looks. If there are people on your side of the stream.
You have to put it a little lower, or is
um,
it?
so,
I think I can see it. So what is supposed to be?
then it is a fusion of a tropical tree, and what are in the Amazon. Sometimes there are trees with roots that are outside the tree,
Uh huh.
and this is kind of banana tree leaf.
Oh, nice.
Drawing.
That's really cool.
And they are also becoming pretty weird because I was thinking about that, but now I think it will at least become something else, but maybe not. Not sure what I'm not not sure what I are going to do with them.
We'll see. We'll see what
Yes.
happens. We'll see what you do with that. I'm curious.
Yeah. Maybe I also going to do.
Oh, yeah. Are you doing ASMR?
No, for fun now. Just I find it's I don't know if I am actually going to do that on Twitch.
I think it'll be hilarious actually if you did that.
Why?
It'll be so funny
Why?
because you got the long nails too, right?
Yes,
Seems to
on
be
one
a.
hand, on one
It
hand.
almost seems to be a rite of passage there when you do ASMR.
Yes, I've one on one hand, the other are short.
I'm being funny, obviously. I have to always make it a joke.
Yes, you are on to say that I'm like on witch or something like that.
Yeah, you should definitely, you know. Halloween is coming, so it's the right time to be silly. I'm making the dogs funky. Yeah, baby, yeah.
On the dogs with dragon wings.
On what?
Are you going to put dragon wings on the back of the horses? Of on the dogs?
Am I going to put what?
My teacher, my arts teacher, she have a dog, and a
Yeah?
dog she plays sometimes when it is Halloween he walks with wings, and that dog have no problem with that for one or
Ah,
another reason. They don't try to put him off. They walks just with him, and there's nothing on his back.
hmm.
I don't know why. I don't think that any dog like that, but that dog don't care about it. It seems.
Oh, God.
Do you have to laugh about it? What did you say?
No, I was actually laughing because I'm trying to do something on my dog, and for
Your
some reason,
your dogs don't like that?
no, my markers are too big. Like, I cannot put the thickness smaller.
Well, the on the dogs on the painting that you are making.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm doing
Mm,
a little. That's why I'm laughing. It's because I keep screwing up. It was just bad timing. Always bad timing for me. Wahahaha. I'm gonna give them funky eyes. God. I'm a bad kid. No, I'm not.
you're an adult that have never actually grown.
That's right. I never want to grow up. Growing up is a trick. That's why. Nah. Plus, now that my mom is following me on Twitch, I showed her yesterday.
Are you acting the same in real life?
I'm sorry?
Are you acting the same in real life?
Yeah, yeah. This is me. I'm just not afraid of being myself. Why should I? Whether you're yourself or not, you're always gonna have people who don't like you, people who try and drag you down. So you might as well be yourself.
Yes, the only thing that the, most likely the only thing that is different for me online, not online, is that I don't wear this long weird wig if I'm not outside.
Oh, okay. I understand that. I don't wear wigs outside.
Maybe if it feels extremely cold, maybe I do that, but most of the time not.
Yeah, I mean, I never really thought about it, to be honest.
Why?
I never really thought about it, to be honest.
Why? Why you are?
What?
Why what you
Wearing
not thinking
wearing
about it?
wigs outside? Just I don't know. I've always been. I
Like
always had psoriasis, right? Most of my life, so I couldn't wear a lot of stuff. I mean, my
also
life was.
you also cannot wear hood, hoods or um, how call you that stuff that you put on your head in English? I think in England they're called different than in Australia and in the US. Sometimes there are different words for stuff. For example, that they're in Australia say when they are talking to a friend they say mate, and in England they say um, or in America they say bro. I think
Okay.
males actually most of the time I mean say that then. And when you're talking with black people, they say specifically when they're listening a lot of reggae music, they
Yeah.
use words like brother, sister, and like it's like sister and like that.
It's true. I like that though.
And so, sometimes they're called something that you put on your head. They call a hoodie.
Yeah, the hoodie. I always wear hoodies, man.
Is that an that you call that stuff? Okay, when you have scenarios, can you then wear hoodies?
When you're what? I'm sorry.
When you have scenarios, what
Oh,
is it?
well, it's just cotton. As long as it's cotton, yes. If it's natural and it doesn't. So only some things, like some things used to. I I couldn't wear like cream, for example. I was selling Alouette then. Not that much. I was using more probably. I was sampling it a lot for other people. But I use that actually to get rid of psoriasis from one hand where it wasn't healing. I just used the aloe vera spray for like the whole day, and then
I've some,
my
I've such kind of plants in my house.
yeah, I
It's
just
it's so
this
it's
stuff
so big
was
around.
all done in a like it was natural aloe, but it would break down and you could. It was like I tried with fresh aloe and it wasn't doing the same. It was burning more, but I think if I stayed with it, I would have probably been able. I just didn't have aloe. It's too cold here to make it grow well, and I always lived in basements, so um, I didn't get a lot of lights for the plants. Now that I have way more light, the plants are growing so happily. It's all about the light and the love. So I was giving them love, but no light. Poor, poor guys. But yeah, it was pretty cool how sick I was, and I couldn't use anything.
Do you see my plant?
So no weeks for me because they would have given me too much itch. That's why.
Do you see my plant?
Hmm?
Do you see the plant that I'm holding?
I'm actually in a different program right now, and I wasn't looking. Sorry, because I'm trying to do something. Oh, nice! That's a very nice plant. Look at that. That's lovely. Really. See, I love
There's
aloe
also
vera.
some
It's just
cuts
I
here.
have one here. It just doesn't grow as much.
I give them once in a month water. That needs tiny bit water.
Oh yeah, yeah. You don't need to give them. I mean, that's why those plants were surviving with me because I didn't need to give them too much water. Sometimes I would forget. Oh, it was crazy. Crazy times. Crazy times. My mom, she's funny.
Did she say
She's trying.
something?
She's trying to do something. We need to take something somewhere. I have to help her, and but not when it's raining. So it has been obviously raining all week. So every day she sent me a funny message about how it's raining. She's funny. That's where I get my always wanting to joke around. She's the same. We like to lighten the mood. I'm more of a like when I get serious, I'm more of a heart attack than she ever could be. However, I've seen her mad, and I wouldn't piss her off. She's much more mellow than I ever was. I have the fire in me.
So if I find you silly, then I find her extremely silly.
Yeah, but my mom, just know that my mom reads so much. She knows so much stuff that she can blow your mind on the stuff she knows, though. And she's very humble. She's not one of those people who go around saying, "Oh, I'm so great." She just is. And then, when people think they got her, you know, she's like, "Oh, actually," because she reads so much, she loves learning, and you know.
Does she also remember a lot of the stuff? That's
Oh, she remembers everything. That's the thing that blows my mind with her. Is
because
that
you said
I look
something.
at her and I go, "I am 30 years younger than you, and I don't remember the stuff I did in high school. I'm sure if I studied it again, it would come back." But the way she remembers facts, like, and stuff, is so, like, it's unbelievable to me. And she's like, "Oh, it's because you don't care as much. Your mind is busy with other things." Yeah, it's true. I'm always more interested. Like, I do remember other stuff better as she doesn't, but in general, like art, anything art and literature, she just remembers everything. She doesn't remember music name, for example. That was my dad. So my house was divided. My dad knew all about music and science and math, that kind of stuff. My mom was all about languages and the other stuff, the artsy. But she never liked to do things. So I was the only one in my family who actually, I want to do stuff. I got the magician in my card. I'm one of those people, I need to just do it. So I want to try things out. I want to feel how it feels, and all that. And they were all, "No, no, you got to be perfect to do it." Like, that's how you become better, by doing it. I was always telling them that. But now that Malcolm Gladwell says it, who are we to argue? After all, the man is a little more famous, right? So I make her laugh with my crazy humor, and sometimes when I go too serious around her, she tells me, "Come on, I want to have some fun." So I keep it fun so I don't go too serious, basically.
Probably, probably your mother find me an old, a young old crank or something like that. Because
No, no, it's not true.
I'm more
My
serious
mom,
than you.
my mom, but you're not. I'm quite intense, right? As a person, when I get, if I get into a discussion, I
Mhm.
get very intense sometimes. So, like, you, you would never almost see me like that. It would be really hard. You'd have to
My
know
mother
me.
don't like it when I go um, militant mode.
That's right. That's right. I go. I call it Terminator. Yeah, that's what I do. I go in Terminator mode, and then she's like, "Can you chill out, please?" And I go, "Sure. When the world stops hurting animals, I will." And she's like, "You're bugging me. I can't take this. I'm not feeling well."
Yeah,
I'm just having a conversation.
sounds a
For
bit like
her,
my
it's like too much, right? So
sounds a little bit like my mother, but my mother's memory is not so good.
yeah. But then now she'll tell you, "Oh, my that was normal for her. She would come out, oh yeah, she read it all. One day I was studying Italian literature. I don't remember what class it was. It was like first year or second year, high school. So in Italy, it was like going to a Ivy League school, basically. We get really high education. When I came here, I went to college, and the first 2 years I was laughing my ass off going, you guys are doing shit I did in high school, you know? I was like, wow, okay, whatever. That was good for me. I rode the wave a little, and I took a bunch because I was trying to learn English, so it helped me at least in that way. I already had enough to learn.
Is
But
the education in Canada so poor?
um, yeah, unless you go to an Ivy League school, for what I've seen, they didn't know their grammar. We were in a literature course, second year, I believe, and they had to learn grammar. I mean, speak D's in grammar. I was getting A's, and I was looking at them going, "Wow, this is sad. Like this is your mother tongue." You know, I couldn't survive in Italian without knowing some grammar. You just can't speak properly. So for me, it was like, okay, for a change, I'm riding the wave a little bit. It was really cool. But
Something
then, of
that I
course,
also find weird is that many Americans actually try to correct British people when there are actually don't speak proper English,
it's just
and
it
most
just
people in Britain,
evolved, right? Like
yeah,
it's like French from here in Canada
yeah,
and French from France. It's like
yes, it's
here in
business.
Canada is the old French. They didn't in France it's softer. When you hear the ones from Quebec is much harsher. I prefer it to be honest because I don't know why when I hear Frenchmen speak it just makes my skin crawl for some reason. I don't know why, but when it's from Quebec it's fine. It's harsher, so they just sound kind of snooty to me, I guess. I don't know. I used to be a lot worse when I was younger. It was just innate though. Like I would hear them and I would cringe, and then I realized why am I cringing? So I worked on that. But it still bothers me if I hear it a lot. It's just taste, I think. I don't know. It doesn't bother me what people say. It's just what bothers me is their intentions, if they're mean or not.
Yes,
No.
what I mean with that is mostly that I find it I actually American English is, if you ask me, one of the most ugliest versions of English.
I I don't pay attention too much.
Yes, there use a lot of slang, and I find slang most of the time ugly.
But even there, I mean, for what I know, they're so different from one state to the other. There is no one way.
But,
They are very different. I mean, it's a huge country.
but still,
Ah,
what are in general called regular American is Southern accent, and that's one I don't like.
like the Texan accent or
Yes,
something like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm a renter and I'm going to the house and I'm with my cows. Or that with Wisconsin, I with when I talk um, with the nostrils
I used to be like this
lying
when I
there.
was in Italy. I used to don't. I didn't like how some Italians were speaking. But now I just couldn't care less. I really realized that, it's just bullshit in the end. It doesn't really matter.
I
It's just
find
how people are used to speaking, right? Like,
yes, but
whatever.
I
Like,
but
I speak
that's
German very softly. When I speak German, it's really ridiculous. So, and when I try and speak French, I totally butcher it. So, I guess I'm understanding now more because I tried and failed. My mom actually used to laugh at me when I was trying to. I had to learn, but Madame Bovary in school, right? I was studying. I was in a languages high school, so I had to study Latin, German, French, English, and Italian. Okay, so
yeah.
this is all in high school. I don't remember anything, just so you know. I only speak English now. I understand when people speak Spanish sometimes and French. I can pick up stuff. I'm pretty quick in learning how to understand stuff, but when it comes to speaking, forget it. That's the hard part, right? So I just do it though. I don't care. I just throw myself in.
I can understand mostly German, but I
Yeah.
don't can speak it so well. Because I mainly also partly because I don't like I find the language a bit ugly.
Ich liebe dich. I always said that sounds so romantic, you know. It's like, oh my god, what did you say to me? If I didn't know what you
Even
meant,
house.
you know, I would be,
Always
I would be
forwards.
scared of. It's very harsh. But then again, when I heard Hebrew, it's my roommate. I was around his friends and stuff, and then I was curious. It's pretty harsh too. So I mean, there's lots of languages that are very guttural, right? And it's just Italian is very soft. So
Japanese
I
is
keep,
some kind
yeah,
of Japanese is also very singing.
yeah. I like.
I've searched for some music in Japanese, and you can pretty easy sing it.
I like to.
Just
I
like with
like to learn
Spanish.
Japanese just because of.
Kaisai no mokuzai hastai gyo no mi yastai kayo no sana gyo
You're
no
not.
masai
You're not saying bad words,
desara.
are you?
No, that's a title.
I'm just fucking
That's a
you.
title a song of video game where I was playing. When it was and then the video game goes are about a woman that is raised by some kind of elemental gods that must protect the world. Dus
Nice.
it is an pure it is a video game that I have get from some fair, but it is a video game that's not so much sold in the West. So
Ah, who is here?
probably if I use the name of the video game, most people in the West don't know it.
Did you see what Andrew put? I'm the secret.
No. Oh, Tutti Joy.
Tutti, Tutti Joy, you changed your name. You're
How
Tutti.
did you know it was me?
I don't know. I guess I must be a little psychic, eh?
I was going to sleep going.
Yeah. Well, once you start speaking, everybody can say who it is with that accent, right? Sean
The
Connery.
Scottish.
Just remember Sean Connery.
Sure.
The Scottish sheep.
My name is I am the secret and I've come on off the camera, but didn't work.
I was born in the wrong time, man. all the good ones were taken by the time I was too old, I was old enough. They were also famous and in other countries, and that really made it hard to reach them.
You missed me today.
Now I was thinking that maybe you dropped your phone somewhere, or you shot yourself because last night I didn't come on. I'm sorry, I was working. I'm sorry.
I was sleeping.
Wow.
Of course you were sleeping. See, he doesn't care about me.
I do care.
I'm just
I never fell asleep till 6 a.m. this morning. Woke up at back at 11 a.m. Had a duvet, then fell back asleep and woke up.
It sounds like a very hard life.
Very poor man.
Poor man. Poor man, that's right, poor man. Life is so hard sometimes. Now it's good. It means he's relaxing. Are you relaxing more, Mr. N? Kind of?
Yes.
That's good.
When I fell asleep earlier on, I was going, actually, I don't know how to explain that actually.
fell
Tell you
asleep?
after when I woke up, like my head just got dazed.
Oh, fair enough. You only say what you want to say. And watch it because my mom may be watching now, so you have to
Hi,
love.
Mom.
You don't want to piss Anna off. She's gonna come after you.
My daughter's still not for me.
Just remember, she's a hardcore Italian mama, okay?
I'm an absolute guy.
Yeah. When I told her you were Scottish, she said, Sean Connery right away.
Morning.
Ash. That's what I'm saying. Ash.
Shh.
See, Adrian is in the house and now the serious talk is gone completely. You got two Gemini in the house? Well, I'm not really a Gemini. However, I think I want to blame the Gemini in me for making me so silly. Yeah? I can't possibly blame the Capricorn because we know Capricorn is as serious as a heart attack. It's not true. We can be very silly. We are at the extremes.
Yeah,
So, what are you telling us today? Nothing important.
nothing really.
Who hasn't been around? Asa, he's there in the background, listening away. You haven't been at home? The cards did tell you to do something new, so I guess sleeping is one of it. I need to do something and I need to let's see.
How long have you been on?
I don't know, I have to look. 49 minutes. I've just been trying to do this art thing. I think I'm gonna do it like this. I've been trying to. Oh yeah, I have to do the eyes. I'm doing another card because I am on a roll. I decided I'm gonna do my deck, and so I've been mocking around with different programs, and I'm gonna bring it in Krita now. Are you listening to music?
Yes, that's my music from myself.
Nice. I honestly miss the ocean so much. I haven't gone in so long that I love the sound of the ocean.
Does the music remember you of the ocean?
Remember what?
Does the music remember you of the ocean?
No, I have ocean waves in my background. Sorry, I always forget you guys cannot hear it unless you're in the feed. I just put it on because it's so relaxing. You know.
But why can why can you hear my music but I not can hear your music?
I think because yours is just coming through the feed, through your microphone.
And all right.
Mine is not coming through my microphone because I hear it through my headphones.
Oh, you
I
have
use
a headphone on your head. That's the reason.
yeah. use
Yes.
headphones. I'm always around other people, so I'll
When
use hat
when
when
I
I don't.
wear this wig that I have now on my head, I don't can have have the thing cannot have headphone. This thing is too weird and too long.
Oh, yeah. I'm not wearing a wig, so I'm good.
Yes. By the way, how long is your hair now? Actually,
It's down to my shoulder. I cut it last April, so it has been growing for over a year now. So I think it's gonna be another year and some before I cut another tail off because I like to keep a little, a little tail, so I can always put the tail up. Um, and they don't have to be a special length where I send them. Some places they only take, they have to be long. But if you go to other, I go, I send them to this place here in Canada where they just do it at any length, even if you have gray hair, even if you have color hair, any condition. Like you send them hair, and then what they do is they prepare these wigs for these children with cancer. These girls who, want to have long hair sometimes, so they prefer longer. It's just I send them fairly long, but I mean my hair is not. I grow it down to my butt, but I go nuts when I do that. So I grow it long enough that they can have a decent, you know,
yes, this wig is weird long.
but it's not too much. Yeah, I
This the wig that I have sent you by in that picture. When you said that I look that I said that I look like Leonardo in that time,
yeah,
that day. Do you remember which picture and which wig?
yeah. I still have it in there. I haven't erased it. I probably save it to put it somewhere. I'll use you. I'll use you for one of my tarot. Don't worry, I wouldn't. I actually told my mom to take a picture of one of these guys um, she sees sometimes. It's a friend of her friend, and he's really good looking. And I said, Mom, I could use him as a prince in one of my, he could be a king of something in one of my tarot. Like, he's really good looking. So, and she's looking at me like, I'll change his face. I'll just use it as a background, like to trace over. So I give it the right chin and whatever, right? And she said, I'm not doing that. She was all shy. It was so funny. I told her, for your daughter, Mom, what do you think I'm going to do with it? She thinks I'm crazy sometimes. More than sometimes, probably. Oh well. Oh well.
I just wondered also a little bit crazy. Did you say not?
Well, crazy. What do you say, Andrew? It's awful. Like, yeah, the secret. Okay, I just. You are the secret. No, I'm not going to sing.
Well, you asked for really
I asked what?
not asking something.
Do you
I
have
asked you.
do you have people on the stream now that are asking questions?
I don't know. I only see as a kanji there. What? What are you talking? What are you saying? What are you talking about? Are you smoking?
Is he talking to that friend of him?
What? Who is he talking to right now? Oh, you're talking about the comments. You can't spell her name. Whose name? Just spell it badly. Who cares? We don't mean anything bad by that. Oh,
By the way, Twitch is weird.
she's
By the
probably
way.
busy. She's probably busy. I haven't been around much myself.
Let me talk about something that is on Twitch. I find it weird that people have problems with women that are accidentally sometimes show too much skin, but men can show walk nearly naked and nobody winks an eye.
Oh, and where did you see that?
For example, there are some bodybuilder YouTubers how are only show their upside body, but they are completely not covered. There are and you can suggest if you don't because you don't see their lower body that they can basically be naked there on the side because you only see the upper body. So that can
Well,
also be suggested if you ask me.
it's called hypocrisy.
Yes, I think also. Um,
Runs deep in certain countries.
yeah, I find I have since I'm self asexual, I find it by the way hip, quite hypocritical. Well, by the way, I find that men who are very big should actually wear swim suits or something like that. You know what they are using when they are surfing. Because there also have a lot. There are also can shock people with their bodies.
Yeah, as a kanji is saying, what about um, cosplay? You know?
Yeah, I I don't see a problem with people who are dressed like they're in the swimming pool on the internet. I don't see a problem with it. I don't know what the problem is with that. If people want to do that, I think Twitch should not stop them from doing that if those people want to do that.
Oh,
Um,
I know.
because if people want to, for example, with that incels wants to attack people or women that are dressed like they are in a swimming pool on the internet, um,
Well,
then
on Twitch they do it because of the age, right? Like
yeah.
there's kids on Twitch,
Yeah, but
so that's why.
there are also children in the swimming pool.
Yeah, but I mean, some things are just not appropriate for kids, and that's
Yes,
it.
but
And that's why,
yeah.
like, even in my feed, even if I talk about vegan stuff, I don't show them horrible stuff.
Yes,
Once because they give you problems, and two because you don't want to shock them.
yes,
Period. You
but
know.
what I mean,
That's why.
I don't say that you are going to walk in a mini bikini or something like that. I think don't think that that is okay. But if you are dressed like you have a properly swimsuit in your stream, I think that is not some problem because you also see that in the swimming pool, and children are also allowed in the swimming pool. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I don't think that it's okay to so if people are walking in some weird kind of mini bikini or something like that. I think that is not
Well,
appropriate, but just normal swimming stuff or that's things that look like proper, not too small swimming stuff, I think should not be a problem. There's a limit then, not less than, if you understand what I mean. And I don't mean perverted or something like that. I don't mean it in that way. For the people on your side that heard me saying this.
oh, I know. I just don't get, like some things I know that are how they are and they're not gonna change. So
Yeah.
I don't, I realize that. I don't pay attention to it. I only pay attention to the stuff I wanna
Yes.
achieve,
But
and that's
for
it.
example, with the streamer where you was talking about,
Oh no, I talk about stuff. It's just,
yeah.
I don't get.
Now, where you know that streamer where you was talking about last time, I think that you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But that's the
I
thing.
think
It's like
what's her
they're
name?
gonna do what
Amaranth.
they're gonna do, right? Like they did what
Yeah.
they wanted to do.
Yes,
What?
with the one that they have reported there, I've watched
Yeah,
a lot of the videos that are absolute incels. That there are sexist men that are jealous on women, how they're looking that they don't want to go to bed with them. That's actually how they're told. They're also called those women hotties, and that's a name they're used for in place of slat or horn.
ah, ah. But that's their feed, and they can do what they want.
Yes, but it is actually not. If you look closely, it is not. There's no. There technically they are not are not breaking the laws.
Well, I don't gauge my behavior on the
Yeah,
law because I
yeah.
call it the
Nee, ik
injustice
bedoel, I mean
system
the,
for a
I
reason,
mean
right?
the, I mean the street law is.
If it was just that they
Yeah.
wouldn't put people in jail because they were smoking marijuana,
Yes.
and then they
Well, I
let
mean
free
with the Twitch
pedophiles and
law.
all kind of people, right? So
Yeah, I
clearly,
mean the Twitch law.
injustice
I
system.
mean that.
But
Um,
they're all the same. It's
yeah.
all about money,
It is
right?
pretty.
Like that was
It is
my
pretty.
point, is that
Yeah.
they made the money, and then when it was time to be a partner, they just simply weren't a partner.
Yeah.
They behave the typical way that they
Like a pimp.
behave there, you know. And when I talked about it with some people from there who actually conducted a lot of business there, they, one of them said, well, they only stopped her for 3 days. And I said, well, she doesn't have a cushy job from the government where she makes money off of the taxpayers' money. No, this woman actually earns her keep for real.
Yes,
So
right.
3 days of lost earning, well,
Yeah.
it's 3 days of lost earning, So yeah, that's an inconvenience. But what did she do? She didn't sit there and complain. She went, and you know what she did? She made more money off of what she did off of air in those 3 days because
Yeah.
she's a very creative person. So,
Yes,
they can
but
try to shut you down, but if
this
you're
was
creative,
it was just a question. It was just something that I want to say that I found it a bit weird.
oh, I know. It's just they don't care,
Yeah.
and I don't focus on that. I used to be that way, but I realize that what you focus on, you keep getting more of. While me, I just want to have smooth sailing. That's why I said, okay, you have a problem with bad words, no problems. There's no bad words. You have a problem. I don't like racism of any kind, so I just don't allow it. I don't like people who come in and swear off the angels like it happened before. People, well, I talk to the devil and stuff like that. You can say it in other streams. Don't come in mine and do that kind of stuff, And that's it. I want a peaceful room where people come, relax, and where we talk about veganism and we actually show them why being non-vegan is wrong and why they shouldn't be so proud of going around saying, oh, I'm non-vegan, I'm not vegan. There's nothing to be proud about that. You're just contributing to pain.
Yes,
But, I'm not going down with the hammer like other people do, making them feel shameful, because that actually hurts them. So I
yeah,
cannot speak about
I think
peace while I'm hurting someone. It's
Yes,
just
I think that's not hurting them. That's hurting their ego, and the ego is something apart
no,
from.
no. It hurts your health. When you shame someone, it hurts your health, and there is no doubt
Mm,
about that.
the,
It's why would you do it to anyone if you're preaching
yeah,
about
I
peace?
don't. But I don't believe in that's.
Well,
That's.
that's scientific, so it's not about believing in it. It's
I
scientifically
think
proven
it
that
is.
when you do that to people, it actually hurts them physically,
Yes, but
their
it is
health.
more. It is more. Like I don't believe it hurts your what I want to say is what's what is called shamed or whatever is also a question of perspective.
Yeah, but
So
you
some
can
people,
talk to people. You'll never
most
make them
carnal.
change perspective when you shame them. First of all,
No, that's not something I'm completely sure with because I there are many groups in history how have changed people and that people have changed. For example, Malcolm X have done a lot of good things for black people in America, but what I have done was a lot of the time we was also educating. He calls it at, but most white men calls it shaming them.
as a coach, I have to disagree 100%, and I will never do that because I'm a healer. I'm a coach and healer in the sense that nobody's a healer. We don't heal anybody. However, we are here to actually help others, and that's
Uh,
just negative. It's like saying calling people stupid that is shown to actually be hurtful for you is helpful. No, it's not. Tough love in that way is not tough love. It's not tough love at all. But
mm,
I had to go through my route. I mean, if that's what you feel right for you, go ahead and do it. I mean, I'm nobody to stop you. Just don't
I
do it
think
around me.
I think that's I think
I
that's
don't like to be around that kind of stuff. It's like I make fun of people who come in here and ask for free readings for 3 months and cannot even pay $2.50 to sub for the channel. Yes, I make fun of them, but I don't make fun of one person. It's in general. They all know who they are. You know, I'm not shaming them. I'm just calling them out and saying, look, compliments are great, but let's face it, they don't pay bills, right? And how do you want to show support? $2.50, it's pretty inexpensive if you think about it, considering how much others spend on this stuff. I know people will spend hundreds of dollars getting readings and stuff. So if you find something valuable, $2.50, it's a little donation. But I don't go out of my way, however, to shit face them more than I have to. I don't shit
yeah.
face them at all. Actually, I just call them out, like laughing away. I don't know why this program is not allowing me to color. It's really frustrating me, actually. Oh, somebody help me!
I,
Do you see it? I'm trying to do something in this program, and it's not allowing me to do it, and it's really making me mad. Why? Maybe it's my tablet. Maybe this my tablet is still not working properly.
just is that you and me in that picture?
Oh, please. I told you, I will never, ever, ever be with someone else again. I am so done with men.
Everybody should
I don't
go
care.
should go
I
back.
don't care what the cards say. It's not coming, man. And if it's
Alright.
coming, I'm gonna make him run away.
You'll see.
I'm like Grimmer Star. I'm asexual. I am
Soft,
done.
sexy.
no, you are give him then the evil eye.
I am I am done. Yeah, I'm not exactly like you, but I am done. For me, it's a choice. It's just really not worth the time for me, for my character, you know. But you, Andrew, you have someone already. Don't worry. This is you and Portia. There you go. What do you think? You like that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's you and Portia. Yeah, it's not allowing me to do anything in here. This program is driving me mental.
I always I like to say to them most of the time, check your privilege or something like that, because
Check it.
communists are actually extremely privileged. They live in a culture that supports their ideology, that excuse their cruel behavior, and there are have not to prove anything. Vegans, even we are even it is scientifically proven that vegans live longer, that it is better for the environment. Uh, we are the ones that have to prove things that science have proved, but they have not to prove anything themselves.
But
There,
it's always been like that, right?
yeah,
Like
that is
I've
that's
always
one.
said that
Yeah,
the masses have always been wrong, clearly, and you know they always take a long time to open their eyes because humans are easily gullible. We all are. We are easily brainwashed, and it's
call me
because of how
Lucifer
we
then.
are.
Maybe you can call me Lucifer.
Now, we need people who aren't as gullible, right? We all have to go through some sort of awakening. There's very few people I met who came to this world already knowing that it was just a bunch of BS, what they were teaching us. Most of us fell for it for a little while at least. And then we woke up because those of us who have actual morals and actual empathy, we know that it's wrong to do it to anyone. So, we don't need to justify cruelty because
People say
we
that.
don't want to see for what it is, right? That's the bottom line.
I
But it
don't.
takes it
I
takes
don't get it.
it takes it takes um I don't want to say the word, but it takes guts to go against the current. You know, it's a lonely road. A lot of people don't care. A lot of people just want to, like all these people in Vancouver. There's so many people who say, "Oh, I'm doing yoga." I always correct and say, "No, you're doing sub yoga if you're not vegan." Just to be precise. And they look at you and they feel almost, "Oh, I'm not as superior as I thought." You weren't superior ever. You know, any guru, any real guru never feels superior. So right there, they're cheats, and it's all about ego for them. It's nothing to do with spiritual growth, and you can be spiritual. I mean, demons are spiritual too. Just to put it in perspective, just because you're spiritual doesn't mean you're a good person at all, or a good influence. It's But
And
I
you,
don't spend my time
and
tearing down
you're
others because it's a waste of time. I spend my time teaching people the right stuff or pointing them in that direction. Because who am I to teach them the right stuff? But I can point them in a certain direction where, oh, that stuff you think is true, it's actually not, but here, you can go check it out for yourself. So do some work. I'm not doing your homework, and then those who are intelligent and get the picture, emotionally intelligent, I'm talking here, which is far more important than IQ is just so limiting, really. If you don't use it correctly, it just builds your ego up more and more.
yes, but IQ is also not is also fake intelligence because it is the first IQ tests are developed in World War II to place people in different parts of the military.
Yep,
That's a test just a small part of your capacity
exactly,
to to
exactly.
to
But many
comprehend
people don't know that. Many
knowledge.
people don't know that, you know.
It's
Many
all
people think that's
that's
important.
it actually tests. I call it not intelligence. I call it sometimes MQ because
Yeah,
it learns because most of the time it tests you how much good you are in manipulation and that kind
that's
of
right.
stuff.
That's
Um,
right.
and intelligence is what I call intelligence, the capacity to live in harmony with the natural world. Because I consider that to be the true form of intelligence.
I'm sorry, I missed the middle part of what you said.
um,
What you could, I just missed what you consider to be true intelligence.
The capacity to live in harmony
Yeah.
with the natural
Okay.
world,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
don't destroy your own habitat.
Of course, that's true intelligence, and that does involve treating people like everyone, people, animals, everyone, plants with respect. Stuff, not even inanimate objects have energy on them. So,
Yes, I know some people.
like you treat your stuff well. You have respect for your stuff.
Yes, but it's other than living creatures.
No, they're not, but you
For
still.
other reasons, I mean, because when you are don't want because when it is to other living creatures because they don't like to suffering themselves, but when it is an inanimate object is because it is more about you. Yes,
Exactly. I know that's your bell from your phone. It always sounds like a meditation
yes,
banger.
I think my mother said something.
Is she following you?
Sometimes not, most of the time not. My mother finds that I'm a bit hard in more videos.
Oh, I have to read all the messages of Azakanji. Azakanji, you should just come on the call. You have so much to say. I like to hear you guys talk. Yeah, look, now uh, I should. Oh yeah, what about Disney having a day to praise pedos? Yeah, right. I don't know what you wrote, man, as a kanji. A message was held. I put all the maximum screening on everything. So if people try and swear and stuff in the chat, they just can't. What? I'm the secret. Why aren't why aren't you why aren't you on camera? Is it because you're hiding your smoking habits? It's okay. We still love you. At least we don't have to smell your smoke.
And get cancer from your smoke.
Yeah, exactly. Do you feel relaxed?
You can also show. You can also go into coloring and then show that.
Yeah.
I cannot focus when I'm studying.
No, even as a kanji is saying, shaming doesn't help anyone. Then you're boasting negativity. That's right. That's right.
I know people how have changed because of shaming.
Yeah, but it's because they had intelligence and they needed that hook. I mean, I paid attention to things. I didn't dismiss them in that way, but a lot of people do, and I think it's all needed. Like, I just don't like to be around it myself because, for me, it really doesn't feel right. But I know that it works on some people, and I used to do
Yeah.
it, and that's why there are people who do it. I
Yes,
mean,
I think
ultimately, it's
yeah.
always the same, right? Like, if you don't want to be judged, then other people don't want to be judged. And so, I know what works for me, and I know what kind of energy I want around me. However, just because other vegans go around doing things in a different way,
Yes,
I don't not support them. I think go for it. If that's what you're calling, go for it because you have a place in this. There is a bigger. We are just human. We are not able to put life in a car. Okay, this is an inanimate object. So I can't put life in this, right? We cannot just impart life in anything. So that's why I am heavily against taking it because let's face it, if you can't make it yourself, why are you destroying it? Whatever gave you the 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 idea that it was a good idea. Oh, because the animals do it. Are you better or worse than an animal?
By the way,
Are you an animal? No.
uh,
So they want to be better than animals, but then they
yeah,
use animals
what
as
I
an
want to
excuse,
say,
right?
what I was to say is that the majority of the animals in the world are herbivores. So
Yeah,
this actually,
exactly. My
actually,
point too.
actually, so the correct answer on that question, or the correct way of saying it, when actually people should say because carnivores do it, but there are first there are not carnivores, so that argument is already appeal to carnivore behavior fallacy.
Yeah.
Secondly, the animals that do sometimes stuff we are find abhorrent, for example, cannibalism, do not most of the time not because they're cruel, but because that's their way of controlling the population. For example, when wolves do it, for example, sometimes wolves kill and eat their own young when there's not enough food because they know that young will die if that young is yes, I think that young will die because there's not enough food. So I can better take him out of his suffering and have some meal myself. It sounds cruel by us standard, but we don't live in the wilderness, so can we judge that?
And the bottom line is, I mean, haven't everybody noticed that all the carnivores are disappearing from the earth? And they were never
Also,
that many to start with, just like you say, but now they're disappearing.
yeah, but
There is a reason for that.
but also a lot of herbivores. For example,
Sure.
elephants. And elephants are killed mostly by us.
But in proportion, the carnivores have always been less, and now they're all
Yeah.
going extinct one by one. And they're getting there. Why is that? It's not just human doing that. It's just evolution.
If you look at shark, for example, the majority of the dying of shark populations is because of Japanese
Oh yeah,
people
yeah,
and in Chinese mafia,
yep. They do
and
all
their
kind of
addiction and their
things.
weird culture of eating the fins of sharks.
Oh, I know.
That's not
They
because of
also have this thing where they do they take out the blood of the. Is it blood? I forget now
the
what they
bladder.
use
The,
of the bear.
I
They
don't. I know that they are eating them.
It is just
Um,
so gross. I
yeah,
mean,
that some of them eat the bladders of dolphins.
oh, I
Um,
know.
and
It's so disgusting. It's like some of them
but one
eat.
of the reasons of, for example, in the Gulf of California, Sea of Cortez,
Yeah.
one of the reasons you know what the fajita is?
What is
Fajita. Dus,
pita?
dus, you know what it is?
Pita.
Nee,
Like
fajita. The smallest porpoise on the planet. Porpoises are kind of mini dolphins.
okay.
Um, is a, the vaquitas vaquita are around 4 feet 8 long, so it's very small porpoise, very
Okay.
small dolphin,
Yeah.
like the creature. There are living just around at best 40 around the world now,
Mhm.
and there are killed because of the Mexican fishermen,
Mhm.
and there are being sold out. There are sellouts for the Chinese mafia and Japanese mafia who want to eat the blood the bladders of the Fiquita and some other fish. What's the name of that? I have made two videos about that. By the way, maybe I put it in the chat in the chat where I'm talking
Yeah,
with you and with the other people in that chat.
you should.
I don't can see it now, but I will do it later. I
You
think.
should. You should put it there. I think because I've done a lot of that research. I've seen all that. That's why I'll never go back, and I'll never, you know, I don't ever stay around people who eat and support that stuff. I just walk away. I can't stand it. It's and in Italy, I mean, you see all kinds of stuff. So they they even used to eat tiny. They have these little birds there, and they have recipes to cook them. And that was because during the war they had nothing, blah blah. But it's also because the people just, don't have. It's usually poverty that starts all that.
Yes, there's also in Xinjiang, that's a place where I was talking last time in China. That's one of the poorest region, and actually the rest of China call that region the region of people that eats anything that walks.
Yeah, I mean, like
And
in Thailand,
that's the
you
place.
know.
There's also the place when you are going from Hong Kong to the mainland, the place where you go first to China, that region. It is also the place, by the way, where the most Chinese immigrants come from to America and the West, according to
No one,
statistics.
no wonder, they they have all this menu here. I
Yes,
never eat out, so
but yeah,
I rarely go out to eat.
I'd
I know.
yes. There are also regions in Japan and China where they eat mostly plant-based diet. Which,
Yeah,
for example, in, if you ever been in China and you go to a Buddhistic temple, you, you can easily eat because they're don't if you are vegan because they're using in that kitchens no animal products most of the time because that's one of the rules of Zen Buddhism and also for Tao. Most people in China are allergic for dairy also up to
yeah.
99%. Some statics are 95, but some statics I have heard that some people say that they're even 99%. But most statics that you hear is they talk about some 90%, 95% by Chinese people that they are allergic to dairy, but are also becoming the most fattest population on the planet since 1950. They're starting to become more Western, and they're also becoming more fat.
Well, yeah, of course.
Now, for example, if you look to the China study, for example, it was done before the Westernization of China.
Yeah.
Mostly to nobody in the time did have cancer. Mostly to nobody have diabetes and all the other Western diseases. It was not so much common there. But now, Chinese children are the most fattest children in the world.
Wow, that's bad.
It's because are starting where since that time eating to eat more animal products. But now you see by millennials generation a bit, and just
Yeah.
like in the West, that's the millennial generation are starting to adopt more again a more plant-based diet.
Well, it's always like that, right? Like when they get the new stuff, they get excited, and then you know,
Yeah, but there are the most people who are trying to make animal rights into the law in China are the people of my generation and younger.
Yep, that's right.
That's
And they're succeeding because the
yeah.
guys in California, I mean, they are in the last phase of the fur ban, and I always talk about it because if people live down there, they can actually help them by contacting
Yeah.
those politicians who have to take the decision.
Yes, one of the problems I have with law is that law is just contract and people also break laws. And laws don't hold anybody from breaking them. Also, laws must be enforced. For example, there are 99% of all the fish sold in the United States, for example, is in violation of the Marine Animal Protection Act because they're killing. Because a lot of them come from foreign countries, how break marine animal conservation laws.
Yeah.
So basically, you can sue the entire fishing industry in the United States for breaking federal law.
Well, the thing is, these guys, because they're actually lawyers
Yeah.
who studied at Berkeley, these guys know their stuff, so they're not gonna let it slide. They'll keep working at it.
Yes,
And it's not easy, and they know that. They are working for years and years on this. And no, they don't get a lot of support because there's many people who talk about wanting to be good people, but then obviously they can't pick up a phone even though they live down there and, do something useful. If we do it from up here, it doesn't have the same effect because we're
Yeah.
not American citizens. And as we all know, if you're not an American citizen, you're a lesser person down there, right? You
Yes,
don't
there are
have the
kind
same
of
rights. So
supremacists, specifically.
obviously your opinion is not going to be taken into account much.
Specifically, when you talk to Republicans, I have they are more stubborn when you are not when I know that you are not person of the USA.
Yeah, because they know you have no power.
Yes, that's reason have I have many. By the way, I have different names on Facebook. So if I am using another one, then and they know that I not from the USA, then and yes, since I know that, I have to create another channel, another Facebook channel, Facebook page, and
Uh-huh.
I'm starting there on you again, and then I don't tell where I live, that I'm not from Europe, and then I say that I live in the United States. So they don't go into ad hominem and attack me about it.
Let them attack you. Who cares?
Yeah,
You
you know what ad hominem is? It's an
Atoman?
ad
Yeah.
hominem.
Yeah.
It's fallacy. It's actually then people don't take you serious because you are coming from a certain place or you are. They don't attack you arguments. They attack your character or how you look or which country you live in.
Yeah. We all know people like that, retards, and
Yeah.
not. No, I again. That's a really bad habit. I don't know where I picked it up, but I picked it up.
I
And
also
everybody knows.
I also refuse to call people
It's
from
probably
the.
you, Kazo.
Probably me, don't like that one.
I also most of the time refuse to call people from the United States Americans. They also don't like that most often because
Yeah,
it,
I've come to a conclusion that my only duty in this world is to be the best I can be and help those who want to be helped. And the rest, I didn't create the problem, so let the big guy take care of it. And your life all of a sudden becomes better. The people who are around you are more inspired, instead of dragging them down. I can get into arguments, and I'm very good at that, but there's no point. You will
I
never
like that.
convince anyone with that.
I like to
People,
get in arguments.
I don't. I think it's an ego thing that we do, especially when we're younger. We're learning our ways and stuff. And I mean, go ahead and do it. But me, I don't because of that, because it's pointless. Even when I had that girl who was always coming in my channel and she was trying to swear to the angels and doing all kind of inappropriate things, or those who come in and still talk about non-vegan food in my feed, even though I put there the chat rules: no vegan, non-vegan food, no talk of cruelty in this channel, and they still do it. I don't care. It's I can ban them very easily. I'm not just gonna ban them on that. It's just I think some people are very unaware of the fact that what they're doing is wrong. They just don't know any better. So my chance is to show them to be better is to not go down at their level of ignorance, because they're
Well,
ignoring the truth, right? In that
yes,
way, I'm
I
calling
like to
ignorance.
play them around a little bit.
Oh, I
Maybe,
played down my whole life. I mean, that's what saved my life when I was around adults who, were favoring the one who was better at fooling them. I had to play dumb a lot in my life.
I don't
And
play
it works.
like I like to play the doll,
Yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah.
doll are people,
Totally.
and then I
That's,
try and then I let them also take in their own words. I find it very hilarious to let people admit that their logic admits them to be cannibal or something.
yeah, when they are a bit too adamant about, like, I had a troll some time back
One
who kept
my
bugging me on Facebook.
and a neighbor.
Anything, I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff too much, because the more attention you give it, the more of it you're gonna get, and I want none of it. It's like I got no time for these people.
Yeah,
Life is
I
short,
know.
man. I'm 45. How many years do you think I'm gonna live? You really think I want to waste 1 second on such losers?
I don't
Hell
know.
no.
I know.
Hell no.
I don't know how old you will become.
I'm 40. I'm 45.
Yes, that's what you say, but I don't know how old you are, to which age you are going to live. Maybe you will become 80.
I highly doubt it with the life I've had. I highly doubt it.
You
And
don't
honestly,
know.
I don't know if I want to be around for that time.
I don't know.
If the world implodes, since I wasn't responsible for most of it, let others deal with it. Enjoy. You and your kids enjoy all the mess you're making. You know, I don't want to be around for that. I signed up for it apparently, but I must have been drunk that day.
Oh,
That's what I told my mom yesterday. I looked at her and I said, "Mom," because she was born on pretty much during the Second World War, right? So I looked at her and said, "What? What were you thinking? Why did you come back right in the worst time ever? Like, this was the worst century ever, you know?" And we looked at each other and said, "Yep, why did we sign up for this one experience? Tell me." Us and many, many others. We make jokes about it because we have been through so much in our life, and you get to a point where if you don't learn to laugh about it, you're gonna go mental. And I'm not going mental for those people. They're just not worth it. I'm sorry. Nobody's worth it. But especially people who, have no understanding of how what they do hurts others. It's just not. It's
yes.
not worth it.
One of the reasons I go into that, uh, you go into discussions because then I hope that I can show them another way.
But I think it's good you do it. I mean, if it doesn't bother you the way it bothers me, do it. I mean,
Yeah,
some people will listen. But for me,
I'm
because
a
I
bit.
feel like shit when I do that, it's like that's the thing. The bottom line is, it doesn't feel good to me.
Yeah,
What feels good to me is to be around people and make them laugh and make them happy. I
yeah,
like good energy. I've always floated toward people with high vibration. And when I was really low vibration because my dad just died and I'd been through so much, I had the abortion. I have been through a lot of stuff in my life, and it wasn't all, most of it was not self imposed, So I had to learn to cope with stuff that I wasn't even equipped to. And over time, as I age, I realized that, life is a big joke in the end. It is. And the more you laugh, the better it is. Even the shittiest situations that you think, oh, how can, like your logical brain, doesn't see everything. When you use your heart, then you start seeing things better. And using your heart doesn't mean letting bad people get away with stuff. Because I don't know if you notice, but I don't shut up. I let people know whatever. But, I also make it fun, and I'm not going to focus on people who are trying to drag everybody down to their low level, of whatever they are going through. Some people feel shame, and that's like super low vibration. Some people feel depressed. Some people feel there's all kinds of different low vibrations. Anger is actually not really the lowest of vibrations at all. Anger is very useful when anger comes out when you're trying to move energy and change gears. So if you make them angry, good. You actually are helping them. If you keep making them angry over and over and over and it stays that way, then no, it's not helpful. But it
What
is
I what I what
necessary.
I what I most of the time do is first I make the reason I make them angry is because I make them think.
Yeah,
And
exactly. You're jolting
yeah,
them out of their position.
yeah,
You know? Yeah,
and
it's
that's
good.
what makes people angry because before most people that's how I see it actually is that they first become they're first making fun of you, then they are going to against you because their own privilege status is challenged, and they are thinking about they're becoming angry because they're thinking that they have to give up some privilege.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
That's how I see it in history.
Nobody likes to be wrong, especially people who are ego based, because they think being wrong hurts their position. Instead, when you're wrong, it's just the universe telling you, oh, you gotta attend to this. And we all go through that. I mean, we all react like
I
morons sometimes.
the
we're, we're,
the
we're not always the best we can be, right? All of us. So, sometimes you just have to laugh at yourself when you screw up. You go, okay, now I see, and you move on. And people who are mostly successful and who are hard based actually know this and will tell you this. Making mistakes is very important. They're not mistakes. They're lessons. You just have to look at them in the right way. And it's hard when you are brainwashed since you were a kid that making mistakes is wrong, and they shame you for it. You see, that's how they manipulate people, and that's why I don't use shame, because people are shamed since they are born. And it's one of the worst things, one of the most disempowering feelings you can feel inside of you. So I'm not gonna do that, but I will tell them to their face, yeah, what you're doing, in my opinion, is wrong. Do what you need to. However, don't do it around me. I put boundaries. This is my boundary. Don't cross it, because I'll nail you if you do. I have a little whip, I drag out. It's called my tongue, and I do it in their own language. So,
I have yes, by my garden. The neighbor is an extremely irritating man.
it's a what?
He's very irritating. He, he,
Oh,
he
why?
annoys me the hell out because he's he is totally wacko how thinks he knows anything better.
Oh,
He also correct me on. I also try to correct me on stuff I do in the garden. Uh, when
is it?
I explain to him that you don't have to eat animals to survive, even if I quote names of doctors, for example, Dr. John McDougall, Neil Bernard, and a lot of their books also, then he still don't believe it, and he thinks that I will die in a couple of years.
Is he old?
uh, I think he is. I think he's. What is old? What is old?
Well, you know,
He
the old
looks old.
generation, the
I
old
he
generation,
hasn't
they're
told her.
brainwashed to
What?
think that.
I think he is around 15 years older than you. I think.
Okay,
Is
so
that
yeah,
old?
he's pretty old. Mentality is probably old, right? Especially in Europe, where, like in Italy, I'm sure if you go to certain places and you try and tell the oldies there to eat, without eating animals. I mean, they eat baby sheeps there, man. It's one of the main recipes. You want to talk about cruelty? I just have to look back in my country. I used to have raw horse meat once a month, 500 grams of raw bloody horse meat, because that was our tradition. And you know how it started? It's because they were all starving and they only had dead horses around. And so they were, feeding themselves. And then that stayed even after we didn't need to do it anymore. It made no sense. Because, oh, it tastes so good. Well, honestly, I wouldn't touch it now because it actually now it grosses me out because all I think about is the animals, right? But back then, because you didn't see them.
But when you did have that horse, did you in that time also eat horse meat?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That and you on that moment you find that out weird that you that
I did. I was extremely troubled by all that stuff. But see, when you're around a society that pressures you, well, first of all, when you grow up in a way where they always make you feel like the outsider. So that was my issue. I always felt like the outsider in my family. Because of all the stuff that was going on. And even if they didn't mean to, but that's what went down. And then in everything, I was so different. I was like you, right? So you get to the point where you start thinking, no, I'm the one who was wrong. Even if you are a strong character and all this stuff, it's normal when you're young to go through those things. So, and then, I was really unbalanced in what I was eating at some point because the PTSD started to kick in from when I was a child and I was going through hormones, and all this stuff. And my dad wanted to eat meat and he was the boss in the family. Nobody discusses with the boss. My mom was the one who made macrobiotic and she learned all the stuff. She worked really hard. She was always the one dragging us in new things. He was the typical, oh no, I want my steak, I want my bacon. Her and I never liked that stuff. We found it disgusting because we couldn't digest it. But he was skinny and so he looked healthy from the outside. And he was always mocking her because she was fat, for example. So that's why I never do that. Um, I was skinny until I took the birth control pill and then I ballooned up. And so, then she had an ally for a little while there. I never went back to my weight. Never. Because those hormones just destroy your body pretty much. And then with all the food I was eating wrong, all this misinformation, because we didn't have the internet, we didn't have all this stuff available, right? So everything, all the information you get was small pieces, and then you'd go to the doctor and they would lie through their face because, or they were convinced of the lies. I'm not sure about that.
I think that many doctors are convinced of their lies that I taught in school.
Yeah, they obviously are not that bright, right? Because they haven't figured out that most of the issues like cancer, all this stuff, is just your lymphatic system not working properly. And you know what causes it to not work properly? Stress. So do you see why I teach people how to tap all the time? Because when people are overweight, the number one reason is because they're stressed. And
Yes,
when you eat crap
also
and you're stressed, you're double stressed.
yes, I think that this mostly because of the crap I eat. But also, you can also, I think stress is also a factor, but I think mostly I think the
but it's
reason what
not because they
yeah
made studies and it's not, and people
yeah
didn't
but
change their
in
diet. They
in
changed the way they saw, and
yes
that
but
changed.
in
Then you
America
change your diet. If you
yes
change your diet first without changing the way you think, you're always gonna go back to eating crap
yeah but
because you're doing it from a will perspective, and a will
yeah
perspective is never as strong as changing the actual programming. This is what I do for a living. I've studied this very extensively, so I can say this with a light heart.
mm,
The food is important, but however, if you don't do the other work, it's just not enough. And it will never stand. Because
uh,
most people
yeah
don't
but
have
if you are
your
trying if
way
you
of thinking. You're very determined as a person. You
but
understand stuff.
but if you there are also studies that show that if you are eating healthy that your brain chemicals also starting to work different.
Sure, but the chances of people changing in that way are much lower, and it's a lot harder. So why would you go a hard route when you can achieve better results in an easier way? I don't go against the flow if I can avoid it. I only go against it when I have no choice. Then yeah, I'm gonna do it. Of course. I don't like to overwork, if I can save my strengths, I'm old, man. I gotta watch what I do. I don't know for how long I'll be around. I really don't.
I also
So
note because first the disease we're being born with
what?
the thing whether I'm being born with my
Yeah?
genetic defect.
Yeah. Does that affect
Uh,
longevity?
yes, it can.
Yeah, it's
The
it's the
doctor
same thing
don't
as me,
doctor
my
the doctors don't know actually. There's so little people on the planet with the disease I been born with that nobody knows actually. There are people in chat. No, um, no, they're also not. Now, where are
what is
people?
what is Kazu doing? And so Angel saying hi, Alicia
Yep.
saying hi. What are you doing, Kazu? Kazu,
Nothing much.
Kazu. Come on, talk.
Hi.
Say
I'm here.
something. Get in the conversation. Come on. Asa is talking. He's chatting in the chat, and sometimes I look up and I check out. I agree with him in a lot of things, just like I agree with you in a lot of things. And then sometimes, if we disagree, it's great because then we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm still not.
I never try
Yeah,
to convince others of my
yeah.
opinion. I always listen to everybody, but I never change my opinion right there. First of all, I always think about it, and I don't expect others to change their opinion either. So for me, it's just an exchange. As long as you grow from the exchange, that's all you really want. Because I'm sure I'm wrong about so many things, and you know what? It doesn't matter. As long as I'm not screwing over anyone, it's all good. If I'm not hurting you or anyone else, an opinion is just an opinion. We all have opinions.
Some opinions are better than other opinions.
Yeah, it's true. And some people are presidents of nations, and their opinion unfortunately matters more, even though they're not
But that
equipped to do
yeah.
that.
But what
But
I
again, that's all politicians to me. So I
yeah
have never met one that
politicians.
is really good.
Yeah, I call them always politicians
Yeah, politician,
because they
exactly.
are on the poli, they are on the front, they're showing, they're off, and they're tell the fissions to
Ah,
the world.
karma never forgets and never loses your address. So good luck to them.
By the way, what do you think that I did have done in my past life that I have the genetic defect? Do you think I was a terrible person in my life before?
No, because because personally I don't really rely much on Western medicine stuff. So
No,
when they say,
no.
if they told me, oh, you have this genetic defect and you can never do anything about it, I will be so inclined to do something about it. That's just my character. I don't believe any of that stuff myself. I
Yes.
think I think that's the first mistake we all make, is that it's we believe their lies, and then the truth is they don't know crap, and most of the times they just tell things so they can make more money. That's my experience.
Yes. No, but
They all say that they're in it because they're such great people. Yeah, great
yes,
people
but
get
yes,
extremely high paying
I
jobs. Take away the money. Let's see how many of them stick to it. Eh? All these scientists, it's all about ego and money. We know that.
yes, I
Come on.
know. I agree. For
For me,
great part
look,
about it.
Grim, the way I look at it is that
I
I don't think you are condemned in a way. I think you were given this task because there is a way out of it, and there is a way to actually there is a way out of it, and we just don't know it yet. That's the way I see it. My brain is always open to possibilities and solutions, and
yes, there
you
are
know,
also
it
different.
depresses me when I feel like I can't do anything about it. It's just
It is also
it's
sometimes hard to difference between pop science and science and marketing science.
yeah, you know what?
As
I think anything that convinces you that you can't do something, right there is a scam. Who
yeah.
are they to tell you you can't? Can't based on what? What the little they know? Because anyone who knows anything knows that the more you know, the less you know, really. We don't know anything. Even if you study, even if you had 10 degrees, you still know nothing compared to what there is to know. So, how can you tell 100% that it's impossible? You
Yes, but
can't.
it is science also don't say it, but just say it is probably most of the
Yeah,
time.
exactly. They always use the right words. They always, it's all politics. It's
Yes,
all,
politician. I do. I mean, scientists never say that something is not possible. They say it is probably the case or something like that.
let me ask you something. What makes you feel better? Me telling you that that problem is always going to affect your life negatively, or that there probably is a way out, we just don't know yet? Which one makes you feel better in reality?
Mm, I think
Because,
the second one, but I think um, if the if it is more likely that I don't can become better, I want to hear the thing that is um, most likely.
it's better, no? It gives you better hope. It makes you live better. So that's what I would go for.
Yeah.
Why believe stuff that makes you feel like crap? If it makes you feel like crap, most likely there is a lie in it. Because we're not here to suffer, like some people want us to believe. We're here to live the better life we can, and yes, we have challenges. Of course, that's part of the game, apparently. However, the way you think about stuff can shape your experience so greatly that I will never tell someone you can't do this, you know, when it's something that can hurt them. So just with that simple logic, that's why I go, okay, so you say that, but you know, I never looked at doctors as superior. In fact, I find it so funny how these people need to say, oh, I'm Dr. So and so. Oh, okay, so you have an ego. All right, good to know. Because that's all it is all about. If you need to put something in, I only say, I'm a Reiki master so people know I can teach Reiki. That's all it means. They just call it Reiki Master. I only call myself healer, not because I can heal other people. No, it's because that's a word we use. But really, nobody can heal you. Your body heals itself, right? So some people just have an ego, and a lot of people, I guess, and they are always ego-based in everything they do. I have an ego, clearly, because I get pissed off when I'm around people who have an ego. So that's my ego coming out. But I'm aware of it, and I work with it, and I don't have an ego to say, oh, I'm so important, I'm so smart, I have 3 degrees, oh, just prostrate in front of me because,
Why
I have such a brain. Oh, please,
Yes,
they make me laugh. It's like you're like children. Grow up,
if
you know?
you are, by the way, if you are not uh, to if you are not proving something but only using your degrees to make your point, then that is
Yeah,
actually in yeah,
exactly.
that is an fallacy. There's an appeal to academical achievements fallacy.
That's right. But it's all because it's always about ego. When you are hard based, you want others to feel good. You want to be in a nice environment. You try and unite. You don't try and divide. So that's how you know someone is hard based. When
And
I'm around ego based people, I know that I'll be hard based for a while, but I know from experience that nobody can be hard based around negativity all the time. That's why gurus, anyone, they don't surround themselves with low energy all the time, because everybody needs to go back and meditate and bring your energy high up, and
yeah,
even they will admit, yes, you will get affected over time because it's how we are built. We go in coherence with the energy around us. So that's another reason why I try to keep my energy high up. Because if someone is going to go in coherence with someone, they're going to go in coherence with me, not me with them. Because me going in coherence with their low energy is not going to help anyone, for sure. Because when I'm low energy, I'm no fun. My mom can tell you about that. And the few people who have been around me in that way and have seen me, they know nobody's fun when you're down there. You know,
I
you're just
don't
a
know actually.
monster, pretty much, and you just want to spread more
Mm,
crap
well,
around.
when I, by the way, by my is it actually some people like it, and some people find it annoying. For example, a friend of me, he finds it, um, he finds it extremely inspirational when I am ranting. But my mother,
When you,
she don't like that.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, if you're always that way around them, eventually it will affect them. It's nobody can be around crap all the time. It's an illusion, and a lot of people who have been abused as children, they have this thing that they need to save the world, and so they think they're bad if they do like the rest of the world does. You know, where okay, let's say Hitler was in the room here with me. I would not be happy about that, because Hitler is not really, he's a sociopath. He pretty much hated most people. And then he said he loved some, but it wasn't real love, obviously, because this person was insane. So,
Yes, he also people also said that he loved his dogs, but his
yeah,
German Shepherd. But if you look to it, and the only reason he loved that dog was because of his strength.
yeah, exactly. They are not capable of true love, because usually people who are like that is because they're extremely damaged, right? Or they're crazy, however you want to put it.
By the
So
way,
they just don't have the equipment to be normal human beings and to love themselves and then to love others. They just can't. And if you don't love yourself, that
mm,
energy will also go out in the world. So you're not gonna vibrate at a high vibration. So that's why loving yourself is actually important. Loving yourself doesn't mean condoning doing bad stuff. It means, taking care of your body, eating properly, and thinking
yeah,
good stuff, and like being kind to yourself and not saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm so stupid. I always do stupid stuff." Like I used to do that all the time.
I do
I
that
still do it
sometimes.
sometimes.
I do that sometimes to make fun of myself.
Yes, if you do it jokingly, and even so, like I try not to say stuff like, "Oh, I'm stupid" and stuff now, because it does. I started, looking more and more into it. I was like, yeah, I don't feel good when I say those things. So if I don't feel good, why should I say it to others? You know, it's what goes around comes around, right? I just over
Yes,
time I've
I
tried different ways, and I found that for me this way works best.
yes,
And
I think also that when you say that loving yourself that you are means something different than I think about with
Yeah, of course.
when
I
I when
because
I
I
when
don't
I
say it in a egotistical way,
yes,
you know.
when I think about when people say loving yourself, I the thing I think first about is a bit like narcissists are obsessed with how they are and not want to change.
Oh yeah, and also a lot of them are very into how they look, not realizing that the body only lasts a few decades,
Yes,
but your soul will freaking bear the fruits of everything you're doing in this life right now. So the more of a jerk you are, the more you're gonna get it in the end. So it's not that smart, is it? So I look at them and I think, yeah, you think you're so smart, but hey, you're gonna get it in the end. Not me, you. Good luck. And then I go away.
but it's also said so that
What?
most bad people don't get what they deserve.
Oh, they do eventually.
For example, with Stalin, for example, so far I know he did from old age.
I made them black.
Uh, um, um, the guy from Idi Amin, the cannibal president of Africa, he
God.
was also her evil incarnated.
Oh yeah.
he was
Some people.
he was a xenophobic extremist, anti-white fascist dictator. He, how he did, according to some press, his opposite political candidates. Do you,
They they probably still do all that.
in Africa cannibalism?
I mean, everywhere there's all kinds of stuff going on that we don't know about.
Do there? Do you think there also did in the war in Italy eat people?
I'm pretty sure there are crazy people everywhere in the world at this point.
I know
I
in
thought
my
there's always.
country, I know that in my country people did sometimes eat blooms, bloom balls, um, bloom balls. You know where the flowers come from, roses, the
Yeah?
roots of that.
Rosebuds.
Yes, they like to eat that stuff in my country in the Cold War, and also the roots of other things you better not eat. People eat weird stuff in the in the war.
My mom made rose rice for my dad when they first were going out. It was a recipe, actually. She was up in Germany.
Rose roots are there eat.
I think it was like risotto with rose or something like that. There was like some
The
special
roots?
thing, and my dad wasn't much into it. He thought it was a little funny. My mom was like, oh, because she likes to try new stuff. He was more traditional, I guess.
He wants to eat anything the same any day.
Yeah, I like to try new stuff, but I mean,
Your father the want to eat any day the same stuff?
no, but he wanted to eat more traditional things.
He was like
Like, traditional
yes,
Italian food stuff.
in my
What?
country, they say when people are not want to try something they're eating um, like a farmer.
And the funny part is that he traveled a lot with my mom, right? He would try stuff. It's not, but he was always, sort of going for the more safe things. My mom was more of a maverick in that way.
hmm
I'm kind of like, I'm like her. However, because of my allergies, I had to be more careful because really I would have really bad breakouts. You know.
Do you also have pollen allergy?
No, no. Thank God. That's all I needed, right? Like I had enough issues, man.
I have pollen allergy.
That was my brother. He had pollen allergies, but
I
they all went away when we did macrobiotic.
I have pollen allergy in the beginning of the year. Um, April, yeah, April. I know of allergic, allergic. That's all the time that I'm the worst. I
In
cannot
energy
outside.
healing, people who have allergies is because they're intolerant, and it's not always like that. But yeah, and my brother can be quite intolerant. He doesn't show it. He's a very good at faking it. Me, I I will look at you and you'll see in my eyes what I think about you. Unless I really want to hide it, then
I'm very bad in doing that, hiding it. If I am angry, most people can see it. Even sometimes people think I'm angry when I'm not angry, or
oh
at least
really?
not really angry. My mother. This is the same by my mother. I don't, I don't know what it is. Maybe because my eyebrows are very big.
Yeah, I think it's your eyebrows. You
Yeah,
have these serious eyebrows, and then
yeah.
people.
By the way, now I think you now can see my weird long wig. Oh no, not. Um, oh, it's too dark to see properly.
Woo!
Uh,
Hey, come here. Hey, Andrew,
yeah.
you should wear something like that. Come on, like a wig, like him. Come
Yeah.
on, let's dress
Do you
up
wear
for
my wig?
Halloween. Yes.
I thought that was your new hair.
It's too dark to see completely. Um, put the light on.
I thought that was your hair.
I'm upside down in my stream, I see. Now, and now in your stream where I'm normal.
Oh,
Well,
that's
now I look like a little bit like a musician or something like that. Maybe I have to take my
well, you look at you,
guitar.
that hair is. It looks like something with like a rock band.
Did you finish your painting? I've been
Nearly,
fighting.
nearly, but I'm going to do that so. Is this, by the way, is the wig weird or not? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at it.
By the way, is the wig weird or not?
The wig for me, no.
No, Andrew. Dude, he
No,
thinks he's weird. Not if he himself is weird with the wig.
He's probably secretly thinking that he should be wearing it himself. Admit it, Andrew.
no. It's full options. I just want some
It's
hair, man.
weird, weird.
Where are the fairies in there? Come on,
There are
put
no
some
fairies
fairies.
now. It is just a weird forest. But I see it becomes a bit late, so maybe the next time I will place creatures in it.
Yeah, you can put some fairies in there. Come
Yeah,
on.
it's next time.
They're
Oh,
like in the environment. What time is it there now?
now it is around 9 hours later than by you.
Yeah, I know. I always ask. You make fun of me.
It's happening here.
Yeah, but this week is far too long actually. I think. Specifically, I wear it sometimes on the fantasy fair with with elf ears and sometimes my swords. I have also a long katana swords, Japanese samurai swords, and then I also wear coat like a vampire,
Yeah.
and also some jackets that I show you on a picture. I think that's a little bit shiny, and not shiny and glittering, but shiny in that is reflecting a bit. This purple and black of color, and
Ah.
maybe I show you. I think I show you a picture about it, but maybe showed I show them tomorrow also again. But I think the first is now in part one ready, and next time I will go further with fairies and other creatures. Maybe I put in it, or maybe I make here also on the lower part of the sketch some other trees or pad or maybe mushrooms.
Yeah, you
Mm.
finish it. It's normal. I leave stuff there, especially when the program is not doing what I want it to do. I get frustrated. I go away
Yes.
and I tap a little. Then
How long are we streaming now? Actually,
I get really sick. I cannot figure out some stuff right now, and I'm getting sick of it.
how long are we streaming now? Actually,
It's like 2 hours, 18 minutes.
now I think this is my longest stream. No, maybe it was next time with you. Maybe that was the longest. No, not the one. I mean the one that was online, not the one that was not online.
I think the longest I did was like 7 hours and something.
That's most. That
I'm
is
sure I was on that day.
Yeah, it happened a couple of times, I think.
some. I see also sometimes somebody. I did have seen on Twitch somebody how did a stream of 10 hours.
Oh yeah, there's tons of people.
That that's pretty weird. If, or present or how you want to call it. If you can stream for 10 hours straight, then you are must also eat most of your food. I think when you are streaming, because if you are not doing, you are. I think you are have anorexia or something like that.
Oh well, it's there. Some people depends on the content too, right? I guess some people would be gaming for a long time, you know, but they take breaks. They would take breaks. I don't think there's anyone who can go.
I
Oh
think
my,
also that
oh my
some.
goodness.
I also think that some gamers have a lot of bowl of food close to them, and then they eat sometimes when they are gaming.
Probably that's what I would do.
At least that's the stereotype of um, pro gamer that I have in my head. There's a guy that have a lot of chips or chips or how you call them um, fries. Also maybe next to them, and then they'll eat that. And one of also a thing that I maybe this incorrect, but I think that a lot of pro gamers also have weight problems because they don't exercise. They are a lot. It's not healthy. I think you can, of course, be. I think you can be a pro gamer and be not unhealthy if you are. placing next to you are a lot of grapes and bananas, and that you eating that. I think if you are doing that instead of chips or other or junk food, that you are.
Oh yeah, it's like
But
depends.
yes, but in America, I think the most pro gamers are overweight. What do you think?
I I never really looked into it, to be honest. My roommate is a gamer and he's very skinny.
Is he eating? Is he also a pro gamer? Games he extremely lot, or just a casual gamer?
No, he has to work, so he cannot just do that.
You
He
have a
has a
full
job.
time. He has a full. You have a full time job.
I think if he didn't, he probably would be because he's really good at what he does. He learns quickly. He's he's very good on it. But we were never in the guild we were in before wasn't serious really, and then he stayed in the guild. I actually just left because I had nothing to gain from there.
What?
Like they were
By the
just
way,
ignoring me because I'm not a really good player. I just play for fun, so I was never invited anywhere. Obviously, because these people they want to get through content. They have their own thing, right?
hmm
I'm not that kind of a gamer at all, so I kind of stayed always out of all that. You know, um,
I did play also on a game where, but it was not World of Warcraft. It was Lineage. Um, in that game, I did have my own clan because I don't want to belong to a clan. So I did create my own clan, and I did have some other people also that were in the clan. But
yeah,
I was the I was the master of the clan, and I did have a dragon.
that's right.
And the dragon that I let always walk around me, and I did all should tell you that a friend of me of my step brother, the 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 actually the son of the friend of the girlfriend of my father, and he was friends with some programmer of that game, and that's how we then can have more pets in active mode than others because we're friends with that programmer, and so we can have more than we can have twice the amount of pets walking around us. So others can I can't I did have sometimes all my pets that I have in that game walking around me, and that were around I think around 20 or something like that on one
Oh my
time.
god,
That,
you
my
you
computer become
cheater!
my computer also become very hot when I did that.
You cheater!
uh, the last time when you say that, you said that was very that you would think that was cool.
It is cool. You cheater! It was just pure jealousy there. Come on. I I wish I had that. I couldn't fly in WoW. I still can't in a new world because I've never put in enough work. You know. I was like, I'm not playing gazillion hours so I can fly. I have a job. I play to have fun, but they made it so difficult to achieve anything. It's because
In the
some people
newest,
play so much, they know so much about everything that they get bored, right? If they were all like me, they wouldn't be making all this money. That's why. I'm just a Sunday player. I haven't even played at all, so I
for
haven't even
for how
played.
long do you have not played? When was the last time? By the way,
Probably
I think I
4
will.
months total, 4 or 5 months ago or something.
By
I
the
don't
way,
even remember.
by the way, I think I've stopped my stream for now.